beauty queens, thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited about today's video. We are gonna be smoothie prepping. So we're gonna prep the ingredients first for 5 smoothies, and we've got 2 components. We've got dry ingredients we're gonna put in mason jars, and we've got more perishable ingredients that we're gonna put in freezer Ziploc bags. So stay tuned if you wanna prep with me. Okay, so this, for me, it's something I've been doing on and off for a couple of years, and when I started doing it, I just couldn't believe I hadn't thought of it 10 years ago. And it just saves so much time if you're in a rush in the morning. A smoothie is your breakfast. For me, I put a lot of ingredients in my smoothie. I kind of call them sometimes kitchen sink smoothies because I throw so many things in. So this just, for me, saves so much time. And you can put whatever you want in your smoothies. The way I'm gonna prep them today, they can essentially take on other flavors. So what we're gonna do today could stand alone as a smoothie. You could just put these in your smoothie, add some water or whatever liquid you would like. If you prefer almond milk, cashew milk, whatever you want, you can put in there as a base to blend it. But you'll come out with, you know, a good smoothie. Oh, another thing that I do that I don't want to forget to mention, because this is one of my faves, is I'll use coffee as the liquid. We're gonna prep the ingredients for 5 smoothies. We could do 7 and then you'd have an even week, but for some reason I'm just drawn to prepping 5, so I'm gonna do 5. And so I've got the dry ingredients that I'm gonna divide into my little mason jars, and I have them on a plate because that way I can just stick this in the fridge like that. I don't see any problem with just keeping them at room temperature if you want to just stack them on top of your fridge so you can grab one and go. But I'm going to change the camera angle so you can get a closer view, and we will get started prepping. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is raw almonds. We're going to start nice and easy. Usually I soak my almonds in water overnight and then put my soaked almonds. Then if you are using soaked almonds, you definitely do want to put them in the fridge, but I haven't soaked my almonds, so for this week we're just going to go with raw almonds. I did that by feel, so it's not going to be the exact same number of almonds in each one, although I used to do that. I used to be really exact and have like 5 almonds a day or something, but I just don't do that anymore. Next, we are going to do a spoonful of chia seeds. I just keep mine in a big mason jar, and everybody gets a scoop. Next thing is I'm gonna put a small spoonful of maca powder. If you don't know about maca powder, read up on it because it has so many amazing nutrients. And I just put, let's see, I think it smells terrible though, FYI. So what's that? Maybe a teaspoon? I put about a teaspoon in each one. FYI, there is a method to the layering, so putting the almonds and then the chia seeds first before the maca powder, because in my experience the maca powder kind of sticks to the bottom and you have to scrape it out. So that is why I put the maca powder on top of the chia seeds so that it'll come out easily. Oh, I forgot to show you. So this is just a wah wah. My arm just doesn't turn that way, but it is hemp protein powder. This is unflavored and it's green. What's not to love about that? And I put, I don't know, that's probably a heaping tablespoon of hemp protein powder in each of our little guys. And the last ingredient we're gonna add is matcha powder. So this is powdered green tea leaves, and it does make matcha tea. I add it just for the health benefits, and I'm maybe gonna add a half a teaspoon. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? So that is it, and that's what a completed one looks like. Okay, so we're done with our dry ingredients. I'm gonna put, oh yeah, so let me just mention, I mean, imagine having to undo each of these jars and each of these bags every single morning when you go to put your smoothie together. I mean, it's very time consuming. So this is a great time saver, and it's just one less obstacle for me to eat something healthy in the morning. So instead of like leftover pizza, because I don't want to open a million jars and bags and put a smoothie together, I can just be like, oh, but this is so easy. I'm just gonna do this and be amazing. So there you go. One thing I want to mention about the Ziploc bags I use is I splurge for the freezer, the hefty freezer bags, because I don't know if it's my freezer or what, but I just noticed that things get real freezer burny tasting in my freezer. So I got these recently and I'm hoping that these prevent that. We'll see if it works. Okay, I'm gonna put the dry ingredients away and then we'll get started with the fun stuff. Not that the dry ingredients aren't fun, I don't wanna make them feel bad. All right guys, we're getting ready to prep our freezer bags, and there's two mainstays, two things that week in, week out I always have in my smoothie, and that is organic whole strawberries that I buy frozen and organic baby spinach. So those two things are always in, and sometimes it's just them. Oh, frozen bananas. Like I was saying about how there's three things I always have in my smoothies, I have frozen bananas, frozen strawberries, and spinach. So what I do with my bananas is I will, sometimes if my banana is just about to go bad, I'll freeze it, but sometimes I'll deliberately like let my bananas ripen a little bit, and then what I do is I peel them, toss the peels, just break them in half. I mean, some people like do small chunks, which is great, but I've got an awesome blender, you guys, so my blender can handle like whole banana halves. So I just halve them, and then I put them in 2 Ziploc bags, so you can see these are just my, or if you can't, but these are just frozen banana halves in here. I always have frozen bananas in my freezer, and if I don't, I go to the grocery store and specifically buy bananas to let sit there for a few days and ripen and then freeze, because I just don't know who I would be without frozen bananas. It's like a long-standing tradition in my family. Other things I have to add this week. So I was going out of town recently and I had some spinach that if I left it behind it was going to be bad by the time I left, so I just froze it. I labeled it and I froze my spinach. I read up online, you know, just, I don't know, just in case anyone was like, don't freeze your spinach, it'll combust, but everybody said it's fine, freeze your spinach. So I have some frozen spinach and the rest of my bag of fresh spinach. I also had some celery that I just, it's a little bit past its peak, and I just cut it up into like 3-inch chunks. I do not think celery is a good flavor for smoothies, you guys, so be careful when adding celery. Be careful. It's good for green juice and it's something that's good to ingest, you know, it's detoxifying, it's great for you, but I'm just gonna add 2 little slivers of celery. I have a feeling I might taste celery in my smoothie, but I'm just gonna live with it because I don't want to waste my celery. So, okay, let's get started. This is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna add a handful, so in this case a handful is 6 strawberries to each bag. Okay, one thing down. Gonna go ahead and put things away as I go, just so that we don't have such a mess on the counter. Next, let's add the celery. Okay, so that's 2 sticks per bag. And now for the banana. So I had been storing my frozen bananas in a generic Target brand Ziploc, so when I got these Hefty brand freezer specific bags, I just double bagged it. You can do a whole banana or a half. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a half a banana per bag. Okay, bananas are in. So for spinach, I do a good handful. So that's probably, I don't know, a loose cup or a packed half a cup-ish per smoothie. And now we're gonna move on and use our frozen spinach, which does not seem any worse for the wear. Great. And now we will put our spinach back in the freezer for another day, another week. And here they are. Aren't they beautiful? All ready to be frozen and ready for me. Okay, so our frozen ingredients are ready to go. What I do is I just roll them to get as much air out of them as possible. And then I put them in my freezer like this, like just little tubes, so I can grab one at a time. If I had quart-sized ones, like if I had smaller freezer bags, I would definitely use those because I don't need to be using a gallon. I do reuse these though. I wash these out and I reuse them many times. So if I get quart-sized ones, then I will switch to smaller bags. But until then, this is it. So the only other things, I mean, I say the only other things, but basically I add whatever I want to my smoothies. So what I would do in the morning is I would grab one of those mason jars, one of these bags, dump that in the blender. Then I would add either water, almond milk, or coffee. I would add a raw egg. I would add brain octane oil by Bulletproof. It's the Bulletproof Executive that does this, but I guess the brand is just called Bulletproof. I would add a small amount. I only use maybe a teaspoon. So a teaspoon of this, a raw egg, whatever liquid I'm gonna use, a freezer bag, and a mason jar. That might still sound complicated, but that's how I like it, people. And let's face it, I'm a complicated lady. So that would be my morning smoothie. And I am gonna make one so you can see the finished product. Okay, if you showed me a video about smoothie prep without showing me what a finished smoothie looked like, I would say, show me the smoothie! So, I made a smoothie and I just wanted to show you the finished product. Isn't she beautiful? So, here she is. Okay, so this is all of the dry and frozen ingredients I just showed you. A little bit of almond milk, a bunch of water, some brain octane oil, and a raw egg. And let's have a taste. Cheers. It's great. I don't think I taste the celery. It's spectacular. Just like always. So, enjoy your morning smoothie. You guys let me know if you try this smoothie prepping. If you're a morning smoothie person, seriously, it will save you so much time. So I hope you have an awesome week, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!